When you learn to see the purpose in the challenge, your mindset shifts. Instead of running from problems, you start facing them. Instead of complaining about the weight, you recognize it's building your muscle. The hidden purpose inside challenges is not just about your success, it's about your transformation. Every closed door is pushing you toward the right one. Every setback is setting the stage for your comeback. Every tear is watering the soil for your growth. Challenges are not accidents, they are assignments. They arrive on your path because there is something inside you that needs to be awakened. And if you embrace them, if you lean into the lesson instead of resisting it, you'll find that every challenge carries within it the very breakthrough you've been searching for. Courage is not the absence of fear, but moving forward despite fear. Fear is natural. It's part of being human. Everyone feels it. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not whether they feel fear, but what they do when it shows up. Fear will whisper in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you might fail. It paints pictures in your mind of everything that could go wrong. But courage is when you feel that fear and move forward anyway. It's when you take the step, even with your heart racing and your knees shaking. The bravest people you know are not fearless. They're people who have learned how to act in spite of their fear. Fear says stay safe. Courage says move forward. Fear says, what if you fall? Courage says, what if you fly? Fear says you can't. Courage says you can't. Courage says watch me. Every great breakthrough in history came from someone who refused to let fear make the final decision. They didn't wait for fear to disappear. They walked with it, faced it, and proved to themselves that it had no power unless they gave it permission. Courage is built through action. The more you step forward in the face of fear, the stronger your courage becomes. It's like a muscle. It grows every time you use it. If you wait for fear to leave before you act, you'll never move because fear never completely goes away. But if you take action while fear is present, you train yourself to push through, and suddenly the fear that once controlled you begins to shrink. Fear is loud at the starting line, but it becomes silent once you're in motion. That's the secret most people miss. The act of moving forward reduces fear's grip. One small step turns into momentum, and momentum turns into confidence. You don't have to feel ready, you just have to feel willing. Willing to try, willing to face it, willing to move forward. Courage doesn't mean you won't be afraid. It means you refuse to let fear write your story. It means you trust that what's on the other side of your fear is worth more than the comfort of staying where you are. Every time you move forward, in spite of fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the thing trying to stop you. Pain is a teacher, strengths are strength. Nobody likes pain. We run from it, we try to avoid it. We pray that life spares us from it. But the truth is, pain is one of the greatest teachers you will ever have. It introduces you to parts of yourself you never knew existed. It shows you how much you can endure, how far you can stretch, and how deeply you can rise when everything in you wants to fall. Without pain, strength cannot be born. Without struggle, power cannot be developed. The very thing you try to escape is the thing that is building you. Think back on the toughest seasons of your life. In the moment, it felt unbearable. It felt like you couldn't breathe, like the weight was too heavy, like the wound would never heal. But look at you now. You made it through, and you didn't come out the same. You came out stronger, wiser, tougher. That's the work of pain. It molds you like fire molds gold. It strips away your weaknesses and exposes the strength that was hidden underneath all along. Pain has a way of teaching you lessons success never could. Success makes you comfortable, but pain makes you grow. Pain teaches patience when nothing seems to change. Pain teaches resilience when life knocks you down over and over. Pain teaches gratitude when you finally rise above it. Every scar you carry is a diploma from the school of pain, proof that you survived what tried to break you. The mistake many make is resenting pain instead of respecting it. They see it only as suffering, when in reality it's shaping their character. Pain is not your enemy. It's your instructor. It won't let you stay weak. It won't let you remain small. It will force you to dig deeper, to find the courage you didn't know you had, and to fight for the life you truly deserve. Strength is never built in comfort. It's built in resistance. Just like a muscle grows only by tearing under pressure, your spirit grows by enduring pain and rising stronger from it. That's why the moments that hurt the most often become the ones that define you. Pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to shape the unshakable strength inside you. Most people quit when it gets hard. Don't be a most people. The truth is, the majority of people stop chasing their dreams, not because they lack talent, but because they can't endure the pressure. When the road gets rough, when the doors slam shut, when the failures pile up, they throw in the towel, they throw in the towel. They convince themselves it's not meant to be, that maybe life has something else for them. But the reality is, they quit right before the breakthrough was about to come. That's why the world is filled with unfinished stories, abandoned goals, and people who live with the weight of regret. The path to anything worthwhile will test you. It will ask for your patience, your persistence, your sweat, and sometimes even your tears. Most people can handle the beginning when it's exciting, when motivation is high, when the vision feels fresh. But the moment struggle arrives, the moment progress slows down, the moment doubt creeps in, they stop. They surrender to the voice that says, this is too much, this isn't worth it. They give up not because they couldn't succeed, but because they chose comfort over commitment. You cannot afford to be most people. You cannot allow yourself to quit just because it's hard. Hard is the price of greatness. Hard is the road that separates the average from the exceptional. Hard is the filter that weeds out the weak and proves who truly wants it. When you face resistance, it's not a signal to stop. It's confirmation that you're on the right path. The harder it gets, the closer you are to the reward. Winners are not the smartest or the strongest. They are the ones who kept going when everyone else stopped. They refused to let pain dictate their choices. They endured rejection after rejection, failure after failure, but they kept moving forward. They understood that storms don't last forever, but the strength built by surviving them does. So when life gets hard, and it will, make a decision. Either join the crowd of quitters or stand out as the one who refuses to break. Most people quit when it gets hard, but you have the power to be different. You have the power to push through, to hold on, to outlast the struggle until victory is the only option left. If you don't fight for your future, you'll settle for your past. Too many people get stuck in what has already happened to them, replaying old mistakes, holding on to old hurts, and clinging to old comfort zones. They spend their lives looking backward instead of forward, and because of that, they never move beyond where they are. The truth is, the past cannot be changed, but it can chain you down if you let it. If you are not intentional about building your future, you will unconsciously accept your past as the limit of your life. The future demands a fight. The greatest obstacles in life are not always the ones in front of you. They're the ones inside you. Excuses sound reasonable. They feel comfortable, and they give you permission to stay where you are. I don't have enough time. You don't have the resources. I'll start tomorrow. These excuses are the walls you build around yourself, and until you tear them down, every external barrier will feel impossible to break. Excuses are dangerous because they let you believe the problem is outside of you, when in reality, the real battle is within. The truth is, no one has perfect circumstances. No one has the ideal amount of money, support, or knowledge when they begin. Those who succeed aren't the ones with fewer problems. They're the ones who refuse to let their excuses become stronger than their purpose. They understand that the moment you let go of excuses, you pick up responsibility, and responsibility is the key to power. Breaking excuses requires honesty. It means looking in the mirror and admitting that what's been holding you back isn't just bad luck, but your own hesitation. It means owning the fact that you could have tried harder, pushed further, or taken the risk, but instead you let fear disguise itself as logic. That's what excuses are, dressed up fears. Once you recognize that, you strip them of their power. Every time you silence an excuse and take action anyway, you build momentum. And momentum is what shatters barriers. That's why the first wall to break is not the one society built, not the one people put in your way, but the one you built in your own mind. Once you decide, and no more excuses, the path forward begins to clear. Think about it. History's greatest breakthroughs didn't come from people with perfect conditions. They came from people who refused to excuse themselves from the fight. They didn't say, I can't. They said, I will find a way. And because of that, they achieved what others thought was impossible. You will always have a choice. Either nurture your excuses or pursue your potential. But you cannot do both. Break through the limits you've placed on yourself, and suddenly the barriers outside you lose their power. The excuses must fall before the victories can rise. Winners are ordinary people with extraordinary persistence. Too often we imagine that those who succeed are somehow different, born with special gifts, rare talents, or lucky breaks. But if you look closely, you'll see that the people who achieve greatness are not superhuman. They're simply relentless. They keep going when others stop. They hold on when others let go. They refuse to quit no matter how long it takes or how tough the road becomes. Persistence is the dividing line between winners and quitters. Most people start strong, full of excitement and motivation, but when the struggle sets in, they begin to fade. The long nights, the repeated failures, the slow progress, it breaks their spirit. Winners feel the same frustration, the same exhaustion, the same doubts, but they make a different decision. They decide to keep moving forward. One more step, one more try, one more try, one more day. That persistence compounds into momentum, turns into victory. Greatness doesn't come from doing something once. It comes from doing it again and again, even when it doesn't seem to be working. Winners understand that persistence is not glamorous. It's showing up when you'd rather stay home. It's practicing when no one is watching. It's failing, then getting back up without anyone cheering you on. It's ordinary effort repeated with extraordinary consistency. The beauty of persistence is that it requires no special talent, only the decision to not give up. You don't need to be the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest. You only need to be the one who refuses to stop. Persistence turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers because it creates an unstoppable force. When life throws obstacles in your way, persistence digs a tunnel beneath them, climbs over them, or smashes straight through them. Every story of success is a story of persistence. The writer who was rejected dozens of times before finally publishing. The entrepreneur who failed in business after business before building an empire. The athlete who trained in silence for years before the world knew their name. They were not born different, they chose to persist. Winners are proof that persistence beats talent when talent refuses to persist. They are reminders that the road to success is not about brilliance but endurance. Ordinary people become extraordinary not by avoiding failure but by outlasting it. And if you choose persistence, you choose victory. Pressure creates diamonds. Embrace the struggle. Nothing valuable is formed without force, without heat, without intense pressure. A diamond starts out as nothing more than a piece of carbon, common, ordinary, unnoticed. But when it's placed under massive pressure and extreme conditions, it transforms into one of the rarest and most valuable treasures on earth. The same principle applies to your life. You may feel ordinary, overlooked, or underestimated right now, but the struggles you face, the weight you carry, the pressure you endure, those are shaping you into something priceless. Most people run from pressure. They see struggle as a curse instead of a gift. They complain when life gets heavy, not realizing that heaviness is the very thing building their strength. Pressure is uncomfortable, yes, but it is also necessary. Without it, you remain the same. Without it, the greatness within you stays buried, untested, unseen. It's the struggle that forces you to grow, to dig deeper, to find parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. Pressure reveals character. It exposes whether you'll crack under the weight or rise to the challenge. It shows you if your dreams are real or just words. Anyone can talk about success when things are easy, but it's under pressure that winners are born. The struggle separates those who only wish from those who are truly willing to work, sacrifice, and endure until the breakthrough comes. When life presses down on you, you have two choices: resist it and stay the same, or embrace it and be transformed. Struggle doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're being refined. It's not breaking you down. It's shaping you up. Just like the diamond doesn't shine without pressure, your potential won't shine without challenges. So stop fearing the weight you carry. Stop running from the resistance. Embrace it, because it's proof you're on the path to becoming more. The harder the pressure, the brighter the shine. And when the struggle is finally over, when you come out on the other side, the world won't just see who you are. They'll see the diamond that pressure created. Courage grows when you take action, not when you wait. Too many people sit around waiting for the perfect moment, hoping that someday they'll feel ready, that fear will disappear, that confidence will magically arrive. But that day never comes. Fear doesn't leave just because you're waiting. In fact, the longer you wait, the stronger fear becomes, feeding on your hesitation. The only way courage is born is when you move, when you take the step even though your hands are shaking and your heart is racing. Action is the fuel that builds courage. Think about it. Confidence doesn't come before you do something, it comes after. The first time you ride a bike, give a speech, start a business, or take a risk, you don't feel brave. You feel nervous, uncertain, maybe even terrified. But the moment you act, something shifts. You realize the fear didn't kill you, the risk didn't destroy you, and the failure didn't define you. That realization strengthens you. The next time it's a little easier, and the time after that even easier still. Courage compounds through action, not through waiting. Waiting is comfortable, but it's a trap. You tell yourself you're preparing, you're planning, you're getting ready. But too often, waiting is just fear in disguise, keeping you stuck in the same place while time passes by. Action, even messy, imperfect, uncertain action is better than standing still. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. The more you do, the more you realize you are capable of doing. That's how courage grows. Every person you admire for their bravery didn't start fearless. They acted first and became courageous later. They took the leap, faced the rejection, endured the failure, and discovered their strength through the process. They understood that courage is not a gift handed to you. It's a skill built by action. If you want to grow courage, stop waiting for the right conditions and start moving with what you have. Take the step. Make the call. Speak the words. Launch the idea. Fear shrinks when faced, but it multiplies when avoided. Every act of action, no matter how small, is a victory that feeds your courage. And before long, you'll look back and realize the courage you once prayed for didn't come from waiting. It came from daring to move. The battle isn't outside you, it's inside your mind. The greatest war you will ever fight is not against people, not against circumstances, not against the obstacles standing in your way. It's against your own thoughts. Your mind can either be your strongest weapon or your greatest enemy. It's the battlefield where fear whispers, where doubt takes root, and where excuses build their walls. If you don't win the fight in your mind, you'll never win the fight in your life. Think about how many times you've talked yourself out of something before you even tried. The opportunity was there, the door was open, but your mind said, you're not ready, you're not good enough. What if you fail? What will people think? And before the battle outside even began, you had already surrendered inside. That's how powerful the mind is. It can defeat you before the world ever has a chance to. But here's the good news. The same mind that holds you back can also set you free. The moment you decide to shift your thoughts, you shift your life. When you replace fear with faith, when you trade doubt for determination, when you silence excuses with action, you win the war within. And once you've conquered the battle inside, no force outside can stop you. The truth is, most people lose because they underestimate the enemy within. They think if circumstances change, life will get better. But if your mindset doesn't change, even blessings will feel like burdens. The outside world bends to the strength of your inner world. That's why your focus must be on mastering your thoughts, guarding what you allow into your mind, and choosing beliefs that empower rather than weaken you. The battle in your mind is daily. Every morning you wake up, two voices are competing for control. One of fear, one of faith. One telling you to quit, one pushing you to fight. One whispering a stay safe, the other shouting a move forward. The choice is yours, and every choice builds a pattern. Win enough of those small battles in your head, and soon your entire life begins to change. Victory doesn't start when the obstacle falls. It starts when your mindset shifts. The greatest battles are not outside of you. They are inside your mind. And if you can win there, you can win anywhere. Your scars are proof you survived. Wear them with pride. Every scar you carry tells a story of struggle, pain, and resilience. Some scars are visible on your skin, others are invisible, etched deep within your heart and mind. But whether seen or unseen, they are not signs of weakness. They are marks of survival. They show the world that you went through something that could have broken you, but it didn't. You endured. You stood tall. You came out the other side stronger than before. Too often people try to hide their scars. They cover them, bury them, or pretend they don't exist because they fear judgment or shame. But scars are not something to be ashamed of. They are proof that you fought a battle and lived to tell the tale. They mean the wound healed. They mean you didn't give up when it hurt the most. They mean you found a way to keep going when quitting seemed easier. Scars are not reminders of pain. They are reminders of victory. Every scar carries wisdom. That heartbreak taught you the power of self-worth. That failure taught you resilience. That betrayal taught you discernment. That loss taught you gratitude for life's fragile moments. Without scars, you wouldn't have the depth, the strength, or the understanding you have today. They shape your character, harden your resolve, and prepare you for the future battles ahead. The strongest people you know are not the ones who never got hurt. They're the ones who wear their scars with pride. They know those marks are not signs of defeat, but badges of honor. They are living proof that storms pass, pain fades, and healing is possible. A scar says, yes, I was wounded. Yes, it hurt, but no, it didn't end me. So don't hide your scars, embrace them. They are part of your story, part of your journey, part of the evidence that you are a fighter. When others see your scars, they see courage, resilience, and hope. They see that if you made it through, maybe they can too. Maybe they can too. Your scars are not something to be embarrassed by. They are something to be proud of. They are proof you survived, and survival is strength. Breakthroughs belong to the relentless, not the comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It whispers to stay where you are. It's safe here. Don't take risks. Don't push harder. Don't stretch yourself. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it robs you of the life you could have lived. Nothing extraordinary has ever been achieved by those who chose comfort over challenge. Breakthroughs require fire, hunger, and persistence, the relentless pursuit of a vision, no matter how many obstacles stand in the way. Relentless people refuse to settle. They are not satisfied with a good enough. They don't wait for perfect conditions or ideal timing. They act, they move, they fight. When doors close, they find windows. When walls rise up, they climb them. When they're knocked down, they get back up again and again. That's why breakthroughs belong to them. They don't stop until the breakthrough comes, and often it comes right after most people would have given up. Comfort, on the other hand, breeds excuses. It convinces you that tomorrow is better than today, that average is acceptable, that dreams can wait. But dreams don't wait. Time doesn't wait. Every day you choose comfort, you delay the breakthrough you've been praying for. You cannot expect to live a life of impact if you're unwilling to embrace discomfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. Look at every story of success, every life transformed, every impossible made possible. It happened because someone was relentless. They pushed through rejection, endured sleepless nights, worked when no one was watching, and sacrificed temporary comfort for lasting victory. They understood that the breakthrough was never given freely. It's earned through persistence, grit, and unwavering determination. You have that same power within you. The question is, will you be relentless or will you be comfortable? Will you fight when it gets tough or will you retreat to what feels easy? The truth is, comfort may keep you safe, but it will also keep you small. Relentlessness may cost you, but it will also crown you. Breakthroughs are not for those who wait in comfort. They are for those who keep pressing forward no matter what.